On March 18, 1984, two masked men with weapons broke into the home of Katsuhisa Ezaki, the president of Ezaki Glico, in Nishinomiya, Japan. They first entered the neighboring home of Ezaki's mother, 70-year-old Yoshi, and demanded the key to his home. Once they entered Ezaki's home, they tied up his wife Mikiko and his eldest daughter Mariko, who were later locked in a bathroom, while his other two children were left unharmed. The kidnappers then abducted Ezaki, who was naked and bathing at the time, and took him to a warehouse in Ibaraki, Osaka. The kidnappers demanded a ransom of 1 billion yen and 100 kilograms of gold bullion. However, Ezaki managed to escape from the warehouse 3 days later. After Ezaki's escape, the extortion attempts against Glico continued. On April 10, cars in the parking lot of the Glico headquarters were set on fire. A week later, a container holding hydrochloric acid and a threatening letter were found in Ibaraki. Then, on May 10, Glico started receiving letters from a group or individual calling themselves the Monster with 21 faces. The monster claimed to have contaminated Glico candy with potassium cyanide, leading Glico to remove their products from the shelves and suffer a loss of over $21 million. In response, the monster threatened to put the tainted products back in stores. A man wearing a Yomiuri Giants baseball cap was caught on camera, placing Glico chocolate on a store shelf, prompting the release of the security camera photo. The monster also sent letters to the media, mocking the police's attempts to capture them. Finally, the monster ceased all communications with Glico and sent a letter on June 26, which stated, "We forgive Glico." However, the monster didn't end their extortion scheme but instead shifted their attention to Morinaga, Marudai Ham, and House Foods Corporation. On November 1, 1984, a threatening letter was received by Mitsuo Yamada, vice president of Morinaga Dairy, at his Tokyo home. On the same day, Morinaga and Company, whose food products had been contaminated by the group, and was compelled to cut down its production by 90%. On June 28, after agreeing to stop harassing Marudai for a ransom of 50 million yen, about $210,000, the group arranged for the money to be tossed onto a train, when a white flag was displayed. An undercover investigator posing as a Marudai employee, noticed a suspicious man observing him on the train, described as a large, well-built man wearing sunglasses with fox-like eyes. However, when the white flag was not displayed, the investigator and the fox-eyed man both left the train at Kyoto Station. While the investigator waited on a bench, the fox-eyed man continued to observe him, and then boarded another train. Another undercover investigator followed him but eventually lost him. On November 14, the monster attempted to rob the House Food Corporation of 100 million yen, but this time investigators had a chance to capture the fox-eyed man, when they saw him at a rest stop near Otsu, wearing a golf cap and dark glasses. However, he managed to escape again. The cash delivery van continued toward the drop point, where they were supposed to leave the money in a can underneath a white cloth. However, upon arrival, the white cloth was there, but the can was nowhere to be found. Believing it to be an evaluation of the police response, the investigation was called off. A patrol car from the Shiga Prefecture Police had earlier spotted a station wagon, parked near the drop point, with its engine running and headlights off. A thin-cheeked man in his 40s, wearing a golf cap and a wireless receiver with headphones was seen inside the car. He sped off when the officer shone his flashlight on him, and the car was later found abandoned. Inside, a radio transceiver used for eavesdropping on police communications was recovered. The monster then targeted Fujiya in December 1984, and the facial composite of the fox-eyed man was released to the public in January 1985. In August 1985, Shiga Prefecture Police Superintendent Yamamoto committed self-immolation due to the continued harassment by the monster with 21 faces, and the failure to capture the fox-eyed man. 5 days after Superintendent Yamamoto's death, the monster with 21 faces issued its final message to the media. After this message, there were no further communications from the group. In March 1994, the statute of limitations expired for the kidnapping of Izaki, followed by the expiration of the statute of limitations for the 2 remaining charges of attempted murder, related to the poisoned food products. In January 1985, after the Tokyo Metropolitan Police released the identikit, Manabu Miyazaki was quickly identified as the suspect. He was believed to have issued a 1976 tape in support of a local union in a labor dispute with Glico, which bore similarities to the declarations of the monster with 21 faces. Miyazaki was also involved in several whistleblowing incidents, highlighting Glico's dumping of industrial waste into the local river and drainage system. Despite months of speculation, Miyazaki was cleared of any wrongdoing after the police checked his alibis. The case of the monster with 21 faces remains one of Japan's most infamous unsolved cases. It caused significant harm to the companies they targeted, and the actions of the group had a long-lasting impact.